This is awesome. Wow. I think this is insane. This is actually probably one of the coolest things I've built in a while. I gave Fable this screenshot and it just one-shotted this design here. And it's not just the front end, it's the whole back end and whole video pipeline for my YouTube growth engine skills that have been now living in Claude Code. And this is completely fully functional. So the goal of today is to build a complete front end. All of this now is running in the terminal. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to quickly check which model we've got activated, and we're on Sonnet. I actually want to switch to Fable. Okay, so I have this YouTube growth skill set as well as workflow. It's in the terminal, but actually I want it as a local website. What would be also great is if I can actually also send commands or have the orchestrator terminal in that front end, meaning that I only have to have the front end and I can send prompts. I can now, while this is actually thinking, I'm actually looked here for some dashboard examples, minimal futuristic project management, YouTube style, dark one. I actually like this one quite a lot. I think this one is pretty cool. I think I'm actually gonna just do the full embedded terminal, which is recommended. And I'm actually gonna copy this image. And I'll be using that. All right, spec written. Layout one dark cockpit page. Board Kanban columns for idea prepped filmed. That makes sense. Kanban. And the cool thing is, you can actually take an image, you can copy it, and then you can paste it into the terminal if you didn't really know that. So this is what the layout will look like. Pipeline. Okay, so I'm going to actually use one of my skills and I'm actually going to do handoff. And what this actually does is I don't want to build all of the design and everything using subagents in here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to say that it's going to split the task into several tasks and it's going to open it up in different tabs and work on it in parallel. So here it comes back with here are the candidate parallel tracks, backend core. So we've got the backend developer who's going to do the parsers plus API, the fast API. Then we've got the front end cockpit, UI React plus Vite. Tailwind is overused. Everyone uses Tailwind. Then the third one is terminal drawer module with Node PTI Xterm.js. That's going to allow us to use the terminal in the browser. And then for 4 is the right layer section scoped, which will actually allow the front end to write all of the updates in the markdown file so that everything stays up to date. So right. Here you see it opened up these separate tabs. It's gonna start VSL and then Claude. I'm actually going to put them next to each other. All right, so the middle one, it's scaffolding the Vite React TypeScript app with the Bulma theme. The right one is actually building the integration of the terminal into the front end. This is basically the orchestrator. So here in the orchestrator I can say, hey, please check if workers are finished. So it looks like all workers are done. On the right side, we've got the pipe app term. That's for the terminal. Build the standard on terminal, which is good. Verified end to end, pretty good. Powers the whole app. Now, one thing that I like to do when I've actually started building something, what I'm actually going to do, reality check. And this is actually a skill I built. to verify that things that Claude Code actually builds were built. And it's going to actually verify all of these commits were done and done properly. It's going to verify, so real data, not mock. So now what it's actually going to do is run different shell commands to prove that what was built is just not, it's not mock data, but actually real. And the cool thing is, like, this was actually running in parallel when it was building, and it actually ran for an hour. Yeah, so after these went through, they pinged the orchestrator, and then after it pinged, it says all 3 tracks verified green, and I've handed the merge to a Sonnet integration worker. I was building the local server, but there was an error, so it's going to fix that. It's going to test if that works. It looks like the build is fully green now. Both fixes were committed, and it's launching the app. Can't wait to see the output and what Fable designed for this YouTube growth. Alright, looks like the app is running. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. This is basically a one-shot front-end build from Fable. So let's see. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, this is actually way better than I expected. It really took the dashboard idea that I shared as an image, and it basically built it. Now we've got 2 ideas here. We've got the prep, filmed 1, produced, create. Okay, this is insane. This is really cool. This is basically Fable one-shotting an insane looking YouTube growth dashboard. And the more projects you build, the more you realize what works really well, what doesn't. So this definitely still has some errors and things that I'm going to have to clean up. And here we've got the terminal. Not sure if it works. Oh, this is awesome. Wow. So I can actually query VP, which is my Vibe to Prod YouTube growth orchestrator from within the front end. And I think this opens up a lot of possibilities. I think this is insane. This is actually probably one of the coolest things I've built in a while. If I think about Swarm orchestration, managing that from a browser, I think that might be the topic of a future video. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in that. Can I actually, I can actually toggle it up and down, and I can open up multiple tabs. This is insane. All right, so let's put this away, and I can actually also open up a PowerShell. I can open up a PowerShell, run scripts from here. I can basically control my whole Claude Code skills from within this front end, and I think this is insane because if you think about it, I can theoretically put this on the VPS, control it from anywhere, and also visualize the whole approach. So, and I can also run the different slash commands, which are skills that I'm actually using in my local Claude Code. And if I click this, probably it will actually run. I'm going to figure that out. Okay, so this is definitely a bug. I'm going to have to fix this. The PowerShell, let's try it again. Yeah, okay, now it works. Build the spec first, brain dump everything that you want. And then Fable is really good at deciding how it actually wants to build the front end, what kind of stack to use in the back end. Yeah, that's just to show you what you can actually build with Fable, using that as the orchestrator, using Sonnet for the different build. And we also used the Swarm building approach with the Handoff, and one-shotted this insane dashboard that I'll be using for my YouTube channel in order to manage all of my upcoming videos. And the biggest pain, in my opinion, for someone that wants to maybe build a simple front end is not really knowing how or where to start. And this is just to show you how easy it is to one-shot one thing. You start with an example on Google, you just look for a cool example, and then you can just basically rebuild it in one shot using Fable. And Sonnet